So my first love left me for a girl that looked like me. I ain't even understand that shit at all. Anyways, this is a story way before pimping. And I'm gonna be real, you know what I'm saying? I used to really be a lover boy. Shit, I still am low-key a lover boy at heart. But pretty much pimping came from my logic. Because deep down, I never wanted to be no pimp. Like, pimping was never my dream or no shit like that. But I seen the logic in it. And since I seen the logic in it and it made sense to me, I pretty much did it. But that's not who I really was. That's just kind of who I was conditioned to be. So around this time, I'm about 17 and I'm fresh out of camp. And when I got out of camp, my sister used to live in the jungles. And now my sister, she got 2 kids. And her baby daddy had 2 nieces and a nephew. So we known them since we was kids. Like, we probably literally met when we was like 7 years old. So me and his niece, we used to play house, spin the bottle, like all the little nasty kid games growing up. We used to play that shit. So when I ended up getting out of camp, her baby daddy's sister was like in between houses. So now my sister baby daddy's sister and kids is living with my sister. So since I'm cool with the nephew, I'm going over there all the time smoking weed and shit with him. And when I come over, the sister there. Now this back in the day when motherfuckers was still smoking nickel bags of stress. So they smoking stress all the time. But when I come over, I'm coming through with a half ounce of some bomb. I walk in the house, see the sister like, here, you feel me, roll this up. You know, trying to impress her and shit. But the shit was crazy though, right? Because ever since we was kids, I always had a crush on her. But when we finally reconnected before I went to camp, it was me, her, my brother, and her homegirl. And her homegirl's fine in the motherfucker too. But her homegirl liked me. Since her homegirl really liked me, I didn't know how to really tell her I didn't like her and that I really wanted her friend. So finally, when I was in camp, I ended up writing her a letter. And that's when I told her, like, man, I'm gonna be real. Like, I was really feeling you the whole time. I didn't want to talk to your homegirl. I wanted to talk to you. That's when she wrote me back. She like, oh, that's crazy. I wish you would have told me sooner and all this type of shit, right? I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But anyways, fast forward, now I'm out smoking weed with her. I'm serving weed at the time and I'm low-key bubbling. So, you know, I'm coming over there, you pulling big wops out and shit. At least big wops for a 17-year-old nigga. And then right after that, I bought my first car. I bought a motherfucking bucket, you know what I'm saying? A Cavalier. She noticing, you know what I'm saying, all this shit. She not used to niggas like moving like me, especially at that age. And like right now, she at the stage where she trying to pretend like she not on me. And I'm at the stage where I'm kind of pretending the same thing, but we both know what's going on. But this is what really confirmed my suspicion. She had ended up saying some jealous shit when she heard me on the phone talking to another female. I forgot exactly what she said, but she was tripping. So finally, we end up talking and shit, and a conversation came up about head. That's when she asked me, have I ever gave head before? At the time, I never have. I was growing up, you got clowned for giving females head. So I had never tried it before. So bam, you know what I'm saying? We got late night and we watching Love and Basketball. Everybody in the house sleep now. It's just me and her up. But where the other people that sleep at in the living room, they sleep behind the couch. Me and her is in front of the couch, like watching a TV. So based on they on the floor, they can't see us and we can't see them. Now, I don't know exactly what was said right before it happened, but the next thing you know, I was under the cover giving, and the shit crazy because I remember when I first did it, I was expecting that shit to like taste nasty or something. But when I did, I'm like, oh, this shit ain't that fucking bad. That's when I locked on to that motherfucker and went to work. So when I was done, that's when she like, shit, your head pretty good for a nigga that never gave head before. I started laughing and shit. But after that, I whip out. That's when she go deep sea diving under the cover. Now I'm like, oh, it's on. Boom, that night we ended up doing what we did, but we didn't go all the way with it, if you know what I mean. Based on there was people there and that shit was gonna get loud. But that ain't last too long because the next day, everybody left me and her alone in the house. As soon as they leave, me and her get to going at it immediately. So I smack, right? The next thing after that, we go together. Now, when I tell you I love this girl, or whatever we've been brought up to think love is, I really loved her. Whenever I get my car taken, because I didn't have no license, I would catch a taxi to her house every fucking night. To the point where the taxis knew who I was when I even called. Motherfuckers going around calling nigga the taxi king. 17 years old. Now, when I tell you this girl never paid her phone bill when she was with me, she never ever paid a phone bill. And I mean, that was the only fucking bill she had back then. Shit, we was 17. Pretty much, I'm doing all the shits, right? I take her to Vegas, my nigga, take her shopping. God damn, it's just so funny as fuck. Me, I was big tricking on my girl. But on me, I took her to Vegas and spent like 3 bands on her shopping. I'll never forget the number because 3 bands bands was a lot of money back then. But anyways, it was nothing I wouldn't do for this girl. I ain't gonna lie, she one of the ones that kind of made me realize why I should be a pimp. Because I'm gonna be real, all through my life, the good girls ain't the ones that used to want me. Only the 304s. Anyways, I was on probation at the time. Based on I had just got out of camp for a pew-pew. I forgot exactly what I did, but I ended up violating my probation. Based on I violated my probation, I had to go to jail. But anyways, I go to juvenile hall for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm in there, I'm talking to her and shit. You feel me? She got my car. And at the time, I had a white Thunderbird. It was my second car. And since I knew I was turning myself in, I left the car with her. So she driving the car. Man, while I was up in jail for 2 weeks, I get out of jail and find out this girl cheated on me. And I'm like, damn, 2 weeks? I was only gone 2 weeks. So come to find out, while I was in jail, she had ended up going to kick it with her ex. It's my first day out, and we laying in the bed and shit, right? And out the blue, she like, I gotta talk to you about something. I'm like, shit, what's up? Shoot it. That's when she like, please don't be mad at me. I'm like, shit, I ain't gonna be mad, you know what I'm saying? Just let me know what's going on. In my head, I'm thinking she talking about my car because she had it while I was locked up. I'm like, damn, did she fuck something up with my shit or something? That's when she look at me again like, I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I'm so sorry. As I look at her, her eyes is starting to water. You can tell she getting ready to cry. That's when she like, when you was in jail, I got lonely. So I hit my ex up and he ate me out. No! Now I ain't gonna lie, I'm in complete shock. I'm hot, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at her like, for real? Like, is you serious? Felt like all the wind had just been knocked out of me. When I immediately get up, you know what I'm saying, and get to grabbing my shit. Now she crying on some shit like, please don't leave, and that she's sorry. Now, I'm mad and shit, talking shit, you feel me? Like, man, you probably fucked that nigga. Which I'm sure she did. Like, I promise I didn't. I didn't fuck him. Whoopty whoop whoop. I just let him eat me. Like, your ass lying, you feel me? Stop fucking lying to me. So she's still following me around the room as I grab on my stuff, grab my strap off the dresser, put it in my pants, and get to walking towards the door. It's where she run up and grab me. Now she hugging on to me, so I can't pretty much leave. I'm on some shit like, get the fuck off me, you know what I'm saying? I'm out of here, get the fuck off me. She just crying and shit, you feel me? Like, please, don't leave, I'm sorry. You know what's crazy? I was hella mad at her for what she did, but at the same time, it felt good having her beg me to stay. And if a nigga had some sense back then, a nigga would've bounced. But instead of doing that, I turned around, grabbed her by her throat, and started kissing her. Now, we both going at each other like we trying to eat each other's face. And I want to give more details, but last time I wasn't even that descriptive. TikTok still flagged my video. A long story short, we did it. We did it a few times, maybe even more than a few. But like a dumbass, I forgive her. Next thing you know, we back on. And everything was smooth for about a year. One day, I ended up going to her house. Brother had hit me up to come over, but I don't think she knew that he had talked to me. So me and the homie, we ended up pulling up over there. So when I pull up, she in the front. She talking to somebody sitting in a tan Monte Carlo on some 22. So when I drive by, I'm all up in the car and I see that it's a dude. Well, I thought it was a dude. Now I'm low-key hot. I'm like, oh, this bitch got me fucked up. So I pull in the gate, you feel me? I tell her to come here. That's when I hit her with all the typical boyfriend shit. Who the fuck is that? And all that shit, right? That's what she like, what are you talking about? She's a girl. That's my friend. She ain't nobody. And all this type of shit. That's when I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really trying to hear that shit. That's when she like, what are you talking about? It's a girl. You can come meet her right now. Now, at the time, I never thought she would mess with a girl. So I kind of let my guard down. Like, okay, if it's a girl and she trying to get me to meet her, she must be telling the truth. So I'm like, whatever, fuck it. So I go in the house and I chill with her brother, and you feel me, I go on about my day. Now, not too long after that, I forgot exactly why we end up getting into it. Pretty much we got into it, right? And we was on some shit like we not talking to each other right now. And remind you, I have never cheated on this girl the whole time I was with her. Even after she cheated on me, which I could have a few times. But for some reason, I guess the universe was speaking to me or something. Because while we was on our little break, I'm standing in front of my house one day, and two females walked by. One of them I went to school with, and one of them I didn't know. That was her homegirl. But me and the homie, we end up seeing them walk by, so we own them. They kind of a little ways down the street already, so we called them back like, hey, come here, come here. So they end up coming back. The homie get the girl number that I went to school with, and I get the homegirl number. This is like day 2 or day 3 of me and old girl being broken up. Well, at the time, I'm just thinking we on a break. Anyways, I get old girl number, and we get to chopping it up. She stayed down the street from me, so like a day or 2 after that, she hit me up like, what you doing? I'm trying to kick it. So anyway, that's when I go pick her her up and shit, and we come back to my mom's house and we kicking and smoke. So after we smoke and shit, we just chilling on the couch, hanging out. That's when out the blue, she like, you mind if I take my shirt off? I was low-key thrown off because the shit just came out the blue. Anyway, she ended up taking her shirt and bra off, right? But for some reason that day, I didn't hit. And I really can't remember why I didn't hit that day. I just sat on my mama couch and had a conversation with a shirtless woman. Now around this time, me and the homie already had the wheels in motion for us to get an apartment across the street from my mama house. And it's the same homie that I talked about in one of my stories that we beat up for stealing a piece of blunt from us. So literally the next day, after the shirtless conversation, we get the keys to the apartment across the street from my mama house. So now me and the homie 17 and 18 with a spot. That shit turned into the gang spot immediately. Now that we got the spot, old girl and her friends is coming to spend the night all the time. Oh yeah, and by this time I'm already hit. So eventually, you know, she just want to stay, and she ended up running away from home and staying at the spot. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? I remember I'm at the spot, right? And around this time, everybody got sidekicks. So everybody using AIM. I don't know if y'all remember AIM and shit. It was like the instant messaging on Sidekick. So boom, I hop on the AIM and shit. When I get on the AIM, I go to girl profile. And you know on AIM, they used to have the little profile pictures and shit, the little square. I look at her profile pic. The person she got as her profile pic is the girl that she wanted me to meet, the one in the Monte Carlo. So now I'm hot, you feel me? I feel hella played. I immediately call her and shit, like, what's going on? Why you got her as your profile pic and shit? I just remember her saying, love don't live here no more. You know, I ain't gonna lie, you feel me? I get to arguing with her and shit, calling her all type of names and shit, doing a bunch of bullshit. Now she talking shit back, telling me this, telling me that, telling me how I ain't this and how I ain't that. That's when I too changed my profile picture on AIM. Except my picture wasn't a picture of another person. My picture was a picture of her giving me some top. And the exact moment where I snapped the picture, how her facial expression was crazy. Now she see the picture on AIM and shit, right? That's when she get the tripping, talking shit. Now her mama and everybody calling me and shit. But I'm on some shit like, I don't give a fuck who, what, anybody talking about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got me fucked up. So now I got both the families mad at me now and shit. Cause remember, her uncle got a baby by my sister. And we got like more ties together than just our relationship. Eventually everybody get over it and they was not tripping on me no more. So I want to say about a year passed, and I just decided to go up over their house to kick it with her brother. And let me remind you, when I was saying that the family was on me, they was only on me for what I did with the profile picture on AIM. They was on my side as far as her leaving me for old girl and how she did it. When I go over there to kick it with the brother, I find out that the stud chick is in jail. It's just not me and the brother kicking it. It's me, her uncle, her mama, and her sisters. So everything like normal. Everybody just talking, hanging out, we feel me, smoking and having a good time. But at the same time, you could still feel the like sexual energy in the air between me and her. And even some of her family members was noticing. They was making little jokes about it. Fast forward and shit, right? I had just bought a white Tahoe and put it on black 24. And I forgot why, but I ended up going to my sister's house one night. And I pull up beating, because I had beaten the motherfucker, right? And when I pulled up, she was right there. She seen me. So now we making eye contact and I'm beating and shit, right? And then I pull up in the driveway and hop out. And that's when she asked me, like, this your new car and shit? That's when I'm like, yeah, I just bought this motherfucker. Y'all end up going to my sister's house, right? And we fucking talking. That's when she like, let's go sit in the car and smoke a blunt. So I'm like, cool, fuck it, let's go. Now we in the car and shit and we smoking. As soon as the blunt was gone, without warning, she just grabbed my pants, whipped my shit out and got the topping. Now pretty much we back fucking around and shit, but it ain't like no title on it. I'm just pretty much sleeping at our house every night and smacking. But in the middle of me doing that, when niggas started getting turned on to the game. So now I'm pimping and playing boyfriend, girlfriend with her. Eventually a nigga realized like a nigga couldn't do both. And I chose the money. Me and her had a long ass talk sitting in my car and I let her know what was going on. And after that we parted our way. And when I end up getting out of prison in 2020, he ended up hitting me up. I go over there, you feel me, and I kick it with her. And you know, I'm fresh out, so I'm trying to smack. She on some shit like she ain't trying to let nobody just smack unless they in a relationship with her. And I'ma be real, she does not look the same. She done got hella big and she got a baby. Based on she hella big and got a baby, I'm like, shit, I'm not trying to be in no relationship with you. You already got history of doing me foul? Like, never. So I'm like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not trying to be in no relationship, you feel me? I'm just on some shit like I'm trying to have fun. I'm fresh out. So based on that, she don't let me hit. But anyways, end of the story, right? She started hitting me up again about like 7-8 months ago. But now she got 2 baby daddies instead of 1. So when she hit me up, she on some shit like, can you please take me somewhere and all this type of shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why you asking me to do that shit? You need to be asking your baby daddies. You got 2 of them. One of the motherfuckers should be doing something. I'm like, matter of fact, don't even hit me up unless you trying to let a nigga hit. So she gonna say some goofy shit like, I'm never gonna give you no just to give you no like, yo, not even big enough. I'm like, cool, you know what I'm saying? If you feel that way, that's how you feel. I can't get mad at you. I'm not tripping. And she trying to play that goofy ass card at 33. Like, that shit probably would have worked on me at like 17, 18, but I'm 33. I've been with enough women